The Bhagavad Gita Summary. The Bhagavad Gita, meaning the Song of God, stands as one of the most important philosophical and spiritual texts ever written. Embedded within the Indian epic Mahabharata, it captures a conversation between Prince Arjuna and Lord Krishna that addresses the deepest questions about life, duty, morality, and the nature of existence. The Gita is much more than a dialogue between a warrior and his charioteer. It is a timeless spiritual guide that has influenced millions across the world, regardless of nationality or religion. Setting the stage, the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The story unfolds on the eve of a great war between two royal families, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Prince Arjuna, a mighty and respected warrior, stands ready to fight. However, when he looks across the battlefield and sees his relatives, beloved teachers, and old friends on both sides, he is overwhelmed with sorrow, compassion, and moral confusion. He lays down his bow and refuses to fight. It is at this moment of emotional collapse that Lord Krishna, who is both his charioteer and an incarnation of the Supreme Divine, steps forward to guide Arjuna. The conversation that follows forms the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna's crisis, the human struggle. Arjuna's crisis represents a universal human experience. We all face moments where we are torn between competing values, moments where doing what is right appears to come at a terrible cost. His questions are timeless. What is my duty? How do I act when the right path is painful? How do I live a life of meaning and integrity in a world filled with suffering? Through Arjuna's despair, the Gita addresses not just the dilemmas of war, but the eternal inner battles within every human heart. Core teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. 1. Dharma, righteous duty. Krishna's first lesson is about dharma, the principle of duty and righteousness. Everyone has a role to play in the world, and performing that role without selfish motives is a sacred responsibility. Arjuna, as a warrior, must fight to protect righteousness and justice. Refusing to act out of attachment to personal relationships would be a failure of his dharma. Key idea: better to fail in one's own duty than to succeed in the duty of another. Selfless action, karma yoga. Krishna introduces the concept of karma yoga, the discipline of action without attachment. Actions should be performed without craving for rewards. True liberation comes when a person does their duty simply because it is right, offering the results to God without ego or desire. The idea: you have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. In modern life, this teaching reminds us to work diligently, but to let go of excessive attachment to success or failure. The nature of the soul, atman. Krishna reveals that the true self, or atman, is eternal. The body may perish, but the soul cannot be destroyed by weapons, fire, water, or wind. Understanding this leads to courage and fearlessness in the face of life's inevitable changes. Key idea: the soul is neither born and nor does it die. This teaching reassures Arjuna and all readers that death is not the end. It is a transformation, a passage, not annihilation. Paths to spiritual realization. The Gita outlines multiple paths to spiritual growth. Karma Yoga, path of selfless action. Bhakti Yoga, path of devotion. Jnana Yoga, path of knowledge and wisdom. Raja Yoga, path of meditation and mind control. Each path caters to different temperaments and personalities, but all ultimately lead to union with the divine. Krishna encourages Arjuna to choose the path that resonates with his nature, showing the Gita's flexibility and inclusivity. The vision of the universal form. In one of the Gita's most awe-inspiring moments, Krishna grants Arjuna divine vision. Arjuna sees Krishna's universal form, a magnificent, infinite being encompassing all creation, all destruction, all time itself. This vision overwhelms Arjuna and makes him realize that Krishna is not just his charioteer or friend, but the embodiment of all reality. Key idea: I am time, the destroyer of worlds. This moment is crucial. It shows that the divine is both terrifying and beautiful, incomprehensible and yet intimately close to each of us. Surrender and devotion, bhakti yoga. In the later chapters, Krishna emphasizes devotion as the simplest and most powerful path. One does not need to renounce the world or become a scholar. Even the most humble offering, made with love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, a drop of water, is accepted by God. Key idea: offer me a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water with devotion, and I will accept it. Surrendering to God, trusting Him fully, and offering one's life in devotion is the path that leads to ultimate liberation. Detachment, balance, and peace. A wise person, Krishna teaches, lives in balance. They are not elated by pleasure nor crushed by pain. They remain steady, grounded in the knowledge of the eternal soul. Such a person is free from anger, fear, and selfish desires. Key idea: who is the same to friend and enemy, who is unaffected by honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and pain, is dear to me. The Gita encourages living with inner peace, detachment, and unwavering focus on truth. The Bhagavad Gita is a mirror, a guide, and a companion for all of us. It teaches that every challenge, every sorrow, and every moment of doubt is an opportunity for spiritual growth. It shows that true wisdom is living with detachment and love. True courage is acting without selfishness. True freedom is found not in running away from life, but in embracing it with wisdom and devotion. The Gita invites each of us to fight our own internal battles with the same spirit Arjuna discovers, with humility, faith, and unwavering dedication to a higher purpose. Its song continues to echo across centuries, calling each soul to rise, awaken, and realize the divine within.